Welcome to the Self-Growth Nerds podcast. I'm your host, Marie, a courage coach, creative soul, and adventure seeker. Since through hiking the Pacific Crest Trail in 2019, I'm on a mission to help you embrace your most confident self so you can achieve your dreams too. If you're eager for deep conversations, big questions, and meaningful connections, join me on the quest to discovering how we can create a more magical and memorable life. Hello nerds, how are you? I'm good. I just finished drinking my coffee in the morning. It's my favorite moment of the day. And now I'm here with you to record an episode about making a decision. And this is so important because I see so many of you getting stuck, wringing your hands at the start line and not getting anything done. To be honest, this week's episode is a little bit different from the usual because I don't want to tell you how to make a decision. I want to tell you about an event that I'm hosting next week where we're going to go in depth into that subject. And I want you to come. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to tell you about why it's so important to be able to take decisions from your heart instead of letting them be led by your fears. All right, let's dive in. So many of you are what I call multi-passionate meaning seekers. And yet I'm going to explain what I mean by that. And then I'm going to go into why it's so important to know how to make a decision. Okay? So, multi-passionate meaning seekers are people who have explored all kinds of different paths in their lives, and most of them are just good at everything. They're interested in everything, but whatever they've tried, there is always something missing. And you eventually get bored and lose focus and start wondering what else you could do that would feel more fulfilling. You like your job and you spend time outside, but it doesn't feel like enough. Your life is fine, but kind of aimless. Like, you're happy, it's great, it's okay, but you're not enthusiastic and you don't have a clear direction. And your expectations for your life are higher than this. You don't want to settle down just for the ordinary. And you're like, well, I'm okay, but if you could tell me that there's more, I would definitely sign up for more. Like, if I could sprinkle some magic powder on my life and feel a kick in the morning when I wake up, a spark that warms me up, feel like every day I am pursuing something that matters to me. And I'm not necessarily living like a perfect, happy life. I know that. I know that there's always going to be struggle involved. But if you can tell me that I can wake up in the morning and pursue something that matters to me, then I'm willing to jump in. Then I'm willing to face any kind of challenges because I know that whatever happens doesn't matter because what I'm doing lights me up and is bigger than myself. So, as a multi-passionate meaning seeker, you want this, but you've got your finger in lots of different pies, and you make no real progress in one direction. You're just dancing at the start line, and I think that's one of my mentors, Brooke Castillo, who said that. You're just dancing at the start line and not going deep into one path, which is what I believe creates a strong sense of fulfillment. And it doesn't have to be in your work. It can be a side project, like a creative pursuit, for example, or a passion, a mission that makes you feel enthralled, like through hiking did for me. So it's a myth that you have to find your fulfillment in your professional life. You can if you want, but it can also be on the side. So in order for that to be possible, you need to be able to make a decision, to commit to one single path. And I know hearing that makes some of you want to puke almost. Because you think, oh, but what if I make the wrong choice? I can't commit to one single path. What if I make the wrong choice? And if I commit to this one, then it means I cannot do all of the other things that interest me. And some of you, it's just a feeling of not knowing. I don't know. I have no idea what I want to do. And you might also have thoughts like, I kind of know I want to do this, but what if I'm not good enough? What if it's unrealistic? What if it's childish? And what if I fail miserably? What if I'm wrong about myself and my desires? What if my dreams are just not possible? You also believe that when you're going to make the right decision, you're going to know it. You're going to feel happy. You're going to feel satisfied. But that, my friends, is a trap. All of these are tricks from your brain to keep you safe inside the cave. As long as you remain in confusion, your brain is winning. Your brain's job is to keep you in the familiar. That's how it's evolved. It's evolutionary wired to make sure you don't get eaten by a predator. And you don't get eaten by a predator if you stay hidden, right? So, as long as you're in limbo, as long as you're overthinking what to do, your brain's like, yes, we are winning. That is perfect. And then when you start wanting to make a move and take a step towards the unknown, your brain's like, shit, we gotta do something, pull a different trick. Let's throw a different trick at them so that they run back inside the cave. That's what your brain's doing. And if you're not feeling uncomfortable right now, if you're not pursuing something scary, if you're not feeling fear often enough, it means that your primitive brain is in control of your life. And if you've been nodding your head, yes, that's me, and you don't want your life to be led by indecisiveness in action, then I've created an event just for you. Okay, it's a one-off event. It's called the Fearless Decision Making Workshop, and it's going to happen on February 16. It's for those of you who are hesitating between two things, or those of you who have a million ideas and can't manage to choose. If you feel scattered, if you feel torn between two big life choices, like should I stay or should I go? Should I do this or should I do that? Or if you just are a multi-passionate person with tons of different projects in mind and you can't sit down and commit, then the Fearless Decision Making Workshop is for you. And because this is so important to me, I decided to make it super accessible. So it's going to cost $20, basically the price of a movie and a popcorn. And we're going to spend 3 hours together to talk about decision making. And I'm going to teach you my system to make an empowered decision so that you can stop wasting time. Indecision slows you down so much. It keeps you stagnant when you could be pursuing your dreams, following your bliss, like Joseph Campbell says. And I know many of you are into thru hiking and you miss the person that you were on the trail, the person who knows where they're going. They have a clear direction. They're excited every day, or not every day, that would be an exaggeration, but they have a purpose that fuels their movement every day. And that, if you've experienced that in the past, you know how much of a relief it is. You know how light-hearted having a simple life feels. You know how much inner peace it creates. Whereas right now, you have a lot of inner turbulence, a lot of conflicting thoughts that are weighing heavy in your mind. And it just gets so exhausting every day to have this inner argument, like, should I go this way? Should I do that? Should I do that? It's like a sigh of heaviness, and you just wish you could fly. I know that sounds cheesy. Obviously, it's a metaphor, but you just wish there were more ease to your life. So what I'm going to do during the Fearless Decision Making Workshop is teach you a system that you can use and reuse to make decisions that are aligned with your true nature instead of led by your fears. what you are going to leave with after 3 hours is 1, clarity and excitement about where you're going. You're also going to leave with fear because excitement and fear are two sides of the same coin. But I'm going to teach you a way to deal with your fear so that you can take it with you on the journey, so that you can just put it in your backpack and do the thing, commit to one thing, even though you're scared. You're also going to leave with lightheartedness from liberating yourself from all the mind drama. You're going to leave with the next steps, what to do now that you've made a decision, and a system to do it all over again. And if you cannot be there live at the workshop, there's going to be a recording that's going to be available to you. And I know that many of you are thinking like, oh, I kind of want this, but if I go to this workshop of hers, she's going to ask me to commit, and committing to one thing is what scares me the most. So why the hell would I go there? And bear with me. I'm not going to force you to do anything. That's for sure. And we're going to talk about your fears of commitment. I'm going to address everything that I mentioned earlier about the fear of making the wrong choice and the fear of abandoning all of your other amazing ideas and your fears of not being good enough, your fears of having a dream that's unrealistic, that's childish, your fear of failure. I'm going to address all of those. So show up, and I swear I'm not going to force you to sign like a contract that you can commit whenever you are ready. But I want you to come and see what happens in your mind when you listen to what I'm going to teach. Okay? I want you to contemplate the possibility that you could find more focus in your life. And when you find more focus, you're kind of like those cyclists that are super aerodynamic. Like they want to be as narrow, as like thin as possible so that they can speed through the air. And that's what happens when you remove all the hesitancy in your life. You speed through the air and you don't have any more like headaches. I found, well, that's personal. I found that simplifying my life removed so many of my headaches and my like acid reflux. No more wasting time wringing your hands. Like you want to be putting your time, your energy, and your money into a meaningful pursuit instead of into overthinking about what you should do. I often say that clarity doesn't come from thinking, it comes from engagement. So I'm going to give you a method that allows you to step into engagement faster, okay? And once you have more focus, one thing that happens is you also know what to do in the morning. And all the other small decisions become easier because you make all the decisions in service of that big one. So that removes so much friction and gets you to move so much faster towards your dreams. So the Fearless Decision Making Workshop is going to happen on Wednesday, February 16 at 6:30 EST. And it's funny, side note, it's funny, I called it the Fearless Decision Making Workshop, but it's kind of like a clickbait because making a decision is never fearless. It's never fearless, but what I mean is I'm going to teach you how to make a decision that's not led by your fear, but that's led by your heart and what really matters to you. So February 16th, Wednesday at 6:30 EST, it's only $20. So to me, that's a no-brainer. You can find $20. You show up. You can even come with your partner if it's a big life decision that you have to make together. Show up. I'm going to teach you my method, and I'm even going to coach some of you. Some of you are going to go in the hot seat if you want, and we're going to talk about your decision. Okay? And after 3 hours together, you're going to leave with so much lightheartedness and a much better idea of what you want to do. So I hope to see you there. The way to buy your ticket is to go to selfgrowthnerds.com/decision-making. So go get your ticket now, and I will see you on Wednesday, February 16th. And again, if you can't be there, buy a ticket anyway, and you will have access to the recording. So in the meantime, I wish you a good week and I will talk to you next week. Bye-bye. You just listened to the Self-Growth Nerds podcast. Make sure to subscribe and to find me on Instagram at Self-Growth Nerds. If you want individual help developing the confidence to create a more meaningful and exciting life, visit selfgrowthnerds.com today to learn how. Finally, I want to thank my friend Etienne Galano for editing this, and I want to thank you, kind-hearted souls, for growing into your truest, most courageous selves every day and making this world a better, more beautiful place. My name is Marie, and I will talk to you next week.